Davos, where he's expected to comment on sex allegations. Well, from Davos, our royal correspondent Rhiannon Mills reports.
Arriving in Davos, Prince Andrew may have hoped this was the perfect place to blend in.
Morning, sir. Please.
A talking shop for the world's great and good. But now court papers filed in America have brought the focus back on the allegations made against him. Virginia Roberts, seen here with the Duke in 2001, is behind the claims. In these latest documents, more details emerge about her alleged encounters with Prince Andrew and how she was forced to have sex with him by his former friend Jeffrey Epstein. This letter has also been filed by her lawyer, asking the prince to give evidence under oath. American lawyer Alan Dershowitz faces accusations from the same woman. He's already spoken out and now believes that Andrew should use Davos as a stage to deny the claims.
If she's made up a story about one person, which I know she's made up about me, nobody should believe any stories about other people. So I hope the prince will respond. I hope he'll respond vigorously and aggressively. He should not pull any punches, and he should call her what she is, a liar.
Buckingham Palace has already emphatically denied the allegations, calling them false and without any foundation. Prince Andrew's links to Jeffrey Epstein meant that he stepped down as UK trade envoy in 2011. Since then, he's continued his work promoting British business. But there are those who feel his appearance at Davos is unwelcome.
I think it's probably unwise that he does, because obviously he's been in the news for reasons which are unfortunate. Of course, he's denied any involvement whatsoever, and therefore it may be deeply unfair to him that these suggestions have been made. But nevertheless, he is there. He'll be seen as representing Britain, and I think it's unfortunate that he's attending at the present time.
The event being hosted by the Duke is focusing on British entrepreneurs and will allow some start-up companies to pitch their ideas to some of the biggest names in business. But it's what Prince Andrew has to say that most people will be listening out for, and whether he decides that this is the place to publicly talk about those allegations. There were hopes that tonight's reception would start to refocus attention back to the Duke's work. But whether he comes out fighting or tries to ignore the allegations, parties on both sides of the Atlantic will be watching. Rhiannon Mills, Sky News in Davos.
Now,
ignore the allegations, parties on both sides of the Atlantic will be watching.
Well, let's take a closer look now at exactly how the allegations surrounding Prince Andrew have unfolded. Well, billionaire Jeffrey Epstein was jailed in June 2008 over child prostitution charges. He served 13 months of an 18-month sentence after agreeing a plea bargain with prosecutors. Skip forward to February 2011, and Prince Andrew was photographed walking in New York's Central Park with Epstein, with the royal widely criticised for their apparent friendship. In July of that year, the Prince stepped down as UK trade envoy following controversy over that relationship. But it was earlier this month that Buckingham Palace released the first of two statements denying the Duke had committed any impropriety after he was named in US court documents related to Epstein. A woman named as Virginia Roberts claimed she was forced to have sex with Andrew 3 times in London, New York and on Epstein's private Caribbean island. In the papers filed in Florida, she alleged she was 17 at the time, which is under the age of consent in the state. But yesterday, lawyers for Miss Roberts formally requested that the Duke respond to her allegations under oath. And today he's attending the World Economic Forum in Davos in Switzerland, his first public engagement since the allegations, and where it's expected he may make some comment. Well, let's take you live to Davos now in Switzerland and talk to Sky's royal correspondent Rhiannon Mills, who's there. So, Rhiannon, what do these latest documents say then?
Well, it was fairly late last night that we found out that these latest documents had been filed over in Florida. Again, it's important to point out that they are not specifically against Prince Andrew. They're against Jeffrey Epstein. However, Virginia Roberts, who's this woman who has made the claims, again goes into more detail, if you like, about what she says were the sexual engagements that she had with the Duke. She claims that she was being used as a sex slave by Jeffrey Epstein and being pushed out to some of his influential friends. She also, in that document, in the legal documents, responds to the fact that Buckingham Palace have been sending out these denials to which she says are absolutely untrue, and that she did have
sexual relationships with Prince Andrew. However, if you go to Buckingham Palace, they simply refer you back to those very strong statements that they sent out at the beginning of January, in which they have emphatically denied all of these allegations, saying that they are false and without foundation. We know, however, now that the lawyers who are representing Virginia Roberts, they want Prince Andrew to speak under oath. They've sent him that letter, apparently to Buckingham Palace, saying that the interview will take a couple of hours and can take place at a venue of his choice. Now, there have been some suggestions that that letter got to the palace and was then rejected. However, I'm not entirely sure how that would work, because we understand that Prince Andrew has not been at the palace this month. So later on today, at around 5:30 this evening, we are expecting to hear from Prince Andrew. He is due to give a speech at this reception. Whether or not he's going to address those allegations, we'll have to wait and see.
Rhiannon, thanks very much indeed. And as Rhiannon was just saying, we are expecting to see the